Alright, hello my magical beings. Yes, I have a new setup. I think this is temporary. I don't know. I keep changing things up. Y'all know I'm Libra gang, so I like to change it up, okay? So, Aquarius, we're gonna see what we have going on for you. I hope y'all can see the cards pretty good. This is my first time setting it up like this, okay? So, yeah, I'm gonna be checking back into the camera to make sure y'all can see y'all's cards pretty good. Alright, so what do we have for Aquarius? Okay. One more time. Alright. Let's see what we have for Aquarius. Pretty good. Okay, we have the Six of Swords in reverse, the Hierophant, the Strength card, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay, I'm gonna see if we can get one more card. I hope y'all can see those cards placed pretty good. Okay, so we got two more cards here. Okay, the Four of Wands in reverse, and we also have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, let me check back on my camera, make sure y'all can see everything. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot these down a little so that y'all can see it a little better. So, Aquarius, it's almost as if you guys may have really experienced like a fallout here, okay, especially with this Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, it could have been like a fallout with like a friend or a family member, or maybe even like your spouse or your partner, you know. And it's almost as if with this Strength card, it's like you're trying your hardest to just like carry on and like move forward. A lot of you, especially with this Knight of Wands in reverse, you could be avoiding like actually expressing like how you truly feel about this situation here, okay? And for a lot of you, you could be like just focusing on, you know, like your hobbies more, passions more, things of that nature. For some of you, you could be into like greenery and things of that nature, okay? To kind of like get your mind off of this situation here, okay? And with this Hierophant card, every time I see this card right here, I always think of it like a aha moment or like an epiphany, like you realize something, okay? So a lot of you Aquarius, I don't know, it's like it may have been something that you recognize, like I don't know, like what you holding back. It's almost as if you may have gotten to the point where you realize that no matter how much you express yourself or how much you express your disappointment in the situation not going how you wanted it to, it's almost as if you may have realized that that's not really going to change anything. So that may be why you're not really expressing yourself or putting too much energy into this situation anymore, okay? But with this Six of Swords in reverse, it's like you're trying to move forward, okay, but it's kind of like a slow process, because once again, you haven't fully expressed yourself about this ending or this fallout or this argument, okay? So it's kind of hard for you to move forward from that, you know. Also with Aquarius, y'all are an air sign. I'm an air sign as well, Libra, and we kind of have this tendency to kind of like logically go through the motions of things. Like if we have a fallout with somebody, it's like, okay, we're not on good terms, so let me get away from this person. You know, we just think very logically. Like it's very rare that we're like, okay, I'm hurting, this person is hurting, so let's kind of deal with this the more emotional way. Like, we're not really the types to give into arguments and things of that nature, you know. And that's what I'm seeing here with you, Aquarius, with this Knight of Wands in reverse. It's like you may want to express how you feel, or you may want to, you know, I would say not so much as act out, but it's kind of like you're really showing perseverance here and endurance. Like, you're not really giving into the negative energy, I'll say that, okay? And because with this Hierophant card, it's like you realize, like, that's not going to change anything. So it's kind of like, instead of staying here and trying to continue to fight or continue to try to make this work, or, you know, maybe I should just focus on me, you know, or maybe I should just move forward from this. But Aquarius, with the Six of Swords being in reverse, this is kind of like a slow process of moving forward. Us air signs, we're pretty much known for quickly moving on from things. But when it comes to like emotional trauma or like fallouts for people that we've been dealing with for like a really long time, Aquarius, sadly, those types of things take time. It's like if you've been dealing with somebody for like more than like 2 or 3 years, if y'all have a fallout, is, you know, in an air sign's mind, it's just like, okay, we fell out, things are not going well, they don't want to be with me, all right, cool, move on. But yeah, it's much more complicated than that, okay, Aquarius? And I think that's something that you've realized here, especially with this Hierophant card. This is like my epiphany aha card. Okay, it's kind of like you realize, like, here I am trying to move forward. Here I am just trying to focus on myself, you know, but I still am in some type of way still affected by this situation. And Aquarius, I can tell that because you have this Strength card. If you were no longer bothered by this situation, you know, there would be no need for this Strength card here. It's like you're trying to hold your composure, okay? It's like you're trying to move forward. You're trying to act like everything is okay, okay? But with this Knight of Wands in reverse, it's like you're not truly acting out on your anger how you would like to. You're not truly expressing yourself how you would like to, okay? And it's almost as if in your mind, you're like, okay, I'm going to just move forward. But it's like you may have realized, like, oh, wow, you know, it's like I've been putting on this front that like that I'm okay and that I'll just move on. But I'm seeing that it's much more complicated than that, you know. And I think that's something that us air signs struggle with just in general, you know. It's kind of like, being that we're air signs, we deal more on the intellectual side. So when it comes to matters of the heart, or people that we love, or relationships, family dynamics, it's like we don't truly know how to actually cope. All we know is how to logically get over it. Like, okay, you know, they don't want to be with me, all right, bye, you know. But no, like, it's so much more deeper than that. And that's something that us air signs would really have to be mindful of moving forward, you know, because I guess it's different, like, if you have, like, a eating habit to where, like, you eat, like, maybe, like, a lot of fried foods, and, like, you develop, like, high cholesterol, and your doctor's like, all right, you got to stop eating that, so you stop. That's really different, because that's just food. But when you're dealing with people you love, Aquarius, especially to us air signs, okay, Four of Wands, this is family, friends, you know, people that we've had good times with, people that we spend a lot of time with, you know. And for us to have fallouts with people like this that are very dear to our hearts, that affects us on an emotional level. We don't just invest ourselves mentally with these people. We also invest ourselves emotionally. So when it comes to putting an end to situations or moving on from situations, we can't just walk away or be done intellectually. We have to also kind of deal with it on a more emotional level, and it's much more complicated, you know, actually doing it versus saying it, you know. because that would mean admitting that this hurts. That would mean admitting that we're still angry over this, you know. And those are pretty uncomfortable feelings, you know. In the air sign's mind, it's just like, why should I sit here and deal with these unpleasant feelings when I could just, you know, I could be doing other things, you know. But if we do other things, that takes away our attention on the most important part, which is actually healing our heart space of this traumatic experience or this traumatic ending here, okay? So I'm gonna see what else we have here for you, Aquarius, okay? What else do we have for Aquarius? I can honestly say, like, us air signs, we're probably known to be like the, what are they called? You know, the people that go from one long-term relationship to another long-term relationship. I think it's called serial daters or serial monogamy, serial something. I forgot what it's called. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's when when a person goes from one long-term relationship that doesn't work out and they instantly get to another person and they be, you know, they're with them for a really long time, you know. I think air signs, you know, the people who do that, they would 9 times out of 10 probably be an air sign, because we do believe in moving on. We're very intellectual. Like, if this is not working, okay, go on to the next. But when it comes to matters of the heart, it's so much more complicated than that, you know. And Aquarius, I'm seeing here that you kind of recognize this, especially with this 8 of Pentacles, okay? It's like you're taking this time out to yourself, because it's like you tried to move on, okay? Or that you're trying to now, but you're seeing, like, this is pretty difficult, you know? This is pretty difficult. I still have repressed emotions that I haven't fully expressed, you know? So yeah, it's gonna be complicated moving forward, Aquarius, until we actually get to the point to where we feel comfortable with, you know, dealing with the situation head on. Okay, we have the 8 of Wands here. Okay, so yeah, Aquarius, for a lot of you, there may have been a fallout and you may have tried to, like, instantly move on. That's what I'm seeing here, okay? But with this Hierophant card, this is a card of, like, structure, routine, and things of that nature. So it's almost as if in this process, you're learning that baby steps are required, okay? It's like you're learning that, literally, Aquarius, baby steps, okay? I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but yes, Aquarius, baby steps are required, okay? These people mean a lot to you. So when you have a fallout with these people, whether it's your boss, your friends, your family, your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, when you have fallouts with important people, that affects your heart space, because we hold people in our hearts. But mostly as air signs, we like to hold people in our minds. But, you know, it's really both, okay? When you share a deep bond with people, it's a mind thing and it's a heart thing, okay? So when it comes to trying to move on, you know, Aquarius, what I'm seeing here is that you all may have instantly tried to get over this, okay? You may have instantly was like, all right, it ain't working out, so all right, so bye, you know? But with this Hierophant card, it's like you realize, like, wow, I can't just move on. I can't just get rid of this. I can't just forget what this person said. I can't just forget, you know, how my mom made me feel or how my dad made me feel. Like, I can't. Like, I really have to take baby steps here. I literally have to take some time out to myself here to actually heal this situation. Okay? It's like you're realizing that it's more to it than actually moving forward mentally, you know? So this is kind of like the time to really sit to yourself and get to the bottom of how you truly feel about this situation, okay? And that's something that's air signs we all can really learn from, okay? That, you know, it's way more to it than just moving on physically and moving on mentally, you know? So, I'm gonna see what else we have here, Aquarius. Ooh. Okay, so we have the Temperance in reverse. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. I'm hoping that y'all can. And we also have the Emperor in reverse, okay? So, yeah, Aquarius. For some of you, something that you wanted to come alive here, okay? It just, it just didn't, and it's almost as if you may have been forced to move forward, and you may have tried to just move forward, okay? And with this Temperance card in reverse, okay, for some of you Aquarius, is during this process of you trying to move forward, you may have been overly focusing on either work or overly focusing on moving forward, okay? Or for some of you, you may have been, indulging in, drugs and alcohol and things of that nature, which I would say be very careful with that, okay? And, yeah, honestly, what I'm getting off of here, I just got it out of nowhere. Some of you could have been so, if you're not right now, so occupied with moving on that it's almost as if you forgot that, you have to heal from this first, And honestly, we all have experienced this, okay, to where we go through something traumatic and we're just like, okay, that's over with. I'm just going to move on with my life, And then we come to realize, like, oh, wow, like maybe I need to sit to myself for a minute, or maybe I still need time to heal, or maybe I still, need to think about this a little bit. For some of you, it's almost as if, well, maybe I need to think about, like, maybe where I went wrong, or think about what I said wrong, okay? Because this fallout, I don't know, For some of you, it's almost as if you may be kind of like retracing your steps, It's kind of like breaking the cycle in a way, Like if you're like with the Aquarius, how you're an air sign, how we do normally go from like one thing to the next. It's almost as if kind of realizing like what went wrong with the first thing so that we can make sure with the next thing that we're better equipped, or we know not to make the same mistakes. Or if we're coming from like a traumatic past, it's just like, how can I make peace with this past situation so that I can move forward, And honestly, I learned this saying from my dad. Sometimes we have to go backwards to move forwards, And honestly, Aquarius, this is kind of like the perfect example of that, okay? It's like you may have tried to move forward after like an argument or conflict or something. It's like you just may have tried to brush off something that was very traumatic or very important to you, And, some things we can't just brush off. And I kind of hate that as an air sign myself. I would love to, instantly get over a heartbreak. I would love to instantly get over like the death of like a loved one or something like that. Well, y'all would love that supernatural ability. But because we all have these hearts, it's our job to use these hearts, It gets uncomfortable sometimes, okay? It gets very uncomfortable, but that will allow us to fully move on. Because Aquarius, let's say, for instance, if you're coming from a relationship or marriage that went really sour, okay, and you instantly get into something else, which for some of you, you may have, and with this Empress in reverse, that may have came to an end, and that puts you in a spot to where now you're to yourself and you're able to think like, maybe I shouldn't have went from one thing to the next, maybe I should have just took baby steps. Maybe I should have paused for a minute, It's like, it's kind of like, I don't know why I just thought about like DNA But it's kind of like if we were in the laboratory and we were trying to like create like another life force, it's like we would have to keep track of the DNA cells, and if anything weird pops up in the DNA cells, we would have to instantly stop that process. But if something weird pops up and we try to continue on with the DNA process of creating, you know, this life force, when the life force is done being completed or brought to life, we'll realize this defect is still present, and this defect could have been not so much as cured but avoided if we would have went back and corrected that DNA molecule itself or that cell. You know, I don't know why I'm talking about scientific stuff with y'all, but it came to my mind, you know. Or like if you're working in a factory or something and you're on the line and there's stuff steadily coming and you make a mistake, so you just keep on going on. Like, no, you would have to pause the machine, go back, correct that, then move forward, you know. But it's kind of like that same thing here, Aquarius. I hope those examples made sense to y'all. But, you know, sometimes we have to go back and correct certain situations so that we can properly move forward. Okay? Because it's like, you know, even with these stairs, you know, if we were going up these stairs and maybe we tripped over one, we would have to get back up to continue walking on, you know. But if we were to trip and then just crawl up the rest, you know, that would kind of slow down the process a little bit versus if we were to just, you know, stand back up and walk, you know. I really do hope these examples make sense to y'all. But, yeah, Aquarius, it looks like you're learning the beauty in taking your time, or you're learning the beauty in sitting still, or you're learning the beauty in, you know, just really taking things easy, like not always being on the go. It's not always about progress. It's not always about moving forward and achieving things and doing things and getting things. Sometimes it's about just relaxing and chilling and embracing the moment, you know, and being in the present. Sometimes we get so caught up in the past, or either we get so caught up in the future that we just completely forget about the present, you know. So, yeah, Aquarius, that's pretty much all that I have for you guys, okay? Well, we're going to check out some outcomes, okay? We're going to look at the outcomes of this situation here, okay? All right. Let's see what type of outcome we have for... Ooh. All right. So we have the Page of Pentacles. Let's see what else we have here. All right, the Chariot. I'm gonna try to get one more. Ooh. All right, these are pretty good cards, Aquarius. Okay, good. So, like I said, taking a step backwards to move forward, okay? This Page of Pentacles, this is all about a new beginning, a new chapter, a new foundation, that new step or the first step towards a whole new beginning here, okay? And it's like you see that it's there, you're working towards that, okay? But with this Chariot in reverse, this is letting me know that you guys are really working on taking your time to build this new beginning for yourself, because you see, and if you haven't seen, you will see the effects of what it's like to try to hurry up and move on, okay? And we also have the Seven of Swords here in reverse, okay? So, like I said, you guys are in the process of, like, being honest with yourself. Like, yeah, this situation, it still bothers me. Or, yes, this pain is still here. Or, yes, the trust issues that I've had in the past, yes, they're still present. Or the way this person treated me, yes, it's still on my mind, you know. You're being honest with yourself here. And you're working on this new beginning, but you're seeing now that this new beginning, if I want it to be done the right way, I am going to have to take my time. You know, I'm going to have to take baby steps compared to how I've used to do things, you know. So it's like a whole new beginning here, Aquarius, for you, a whole new mindset. It's like you're going through life a whole new way here, How you normally go from one thing to the next and just nonchalantly just move on. It's like you're taking the time out to acknowledge how you feel. You know, you're taking that step backwards so that you can move forward and have a healthy new beginning, okay? To where you don't have to bring the past issues into your new chapter, okay? So this is really good, Aquarius. This is actually a very healing energy, okay? So yeah, I'm really proud of you, Aquarius. Y'all went through like a whole 180 here, okay? A whole new transformation. Y'all are growing, y'all are learning, y'all are evolving, and most importantly, you guys are practicing more on self-care and self-love here, okay? And really taking your time with yourself, which is very important, okay? Today's society is all about doing and having and moving, and you know, it's just very fast-paced, and sometimes it's good to just take a minute out for yourself, you know? So yeah, that's all that I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that this reading was very healing for you and was a big help to your situation. Feel free to comment at the bottom how this was a help to you and how this resonated with you. And yeah, I'll let you guys go. Until next time, toodles!